Folks, so in this project, we're going to do some secondary research and present our findings in two different genres, an annotated bibliography and a presentation of some kind. We're not going to be writing a full paper. This is important because, as you remember from the beginning of the quarter, we want to become what I call flexible rhetors, someone who can come into any communication situation, size up the rhetorical situation, what has to happen, who the audience is, all of that kind of stuff, and figure out how to respond creatively and then create a process to do so. So we already wrote a narrative and a primary research IMRAD type paper. We're going to add a couple more genres, a proposal memo, the annotated bib, and the presentation. Along the way, we're going to learn about the academic databases. They look like this. What they are and how they work at our WCC library. Conducting secondary research is fundamental to success in almost any degree or certificate program. So we're going to learn how to use the databases to find more credible sources, and then we're going to learn about peer-reviewed sources, popular sources, how they're different, how to assess their credibility, and that kind of thing. So we're going to use primarily Academic Search Complete, EBSCO, and ProQuest Research Library. Those two primarily. We're not going to be Googling stuff out here like that. Okay, so what are we going to be researching? Well, whoops, sorry. There it is. In the first project, we look back at where we've come from in order to make sense of what you are bringing to this college career of yours. Then in the second paper, you looked around at the influences on your views of the value of college, trying to solidify your own views relative to that of others and to the views of experts in the field. So in this project, it's time to look ahead. Where are you going? What are the opportunities? What might stand in your way? So there are two main options. You can study an academic pathway. Where is it? There it is. You can study an academic pathway uh, or some kind of a major, right? Like what people do with degrees in the field that you're interested in, that kind of thing. Or you can study something that might get in your way, some barrier or some challenge. So, for example, mental health issues, anxiety, depression, working. Lots of people work full time, part time. How does that influence your success? First gen students, Gen 1.5. How about procrastination, time management, those kinds of things. Whatever it is that you want to that you fear might stand in your way, you could do some research on, take control of it, and maybe overcome it. So those two main choices. Where are you going in terms of your career pathway, your major? What are the possibilities and challenges? And maybe what kind of influences, what kind of barriers stand in your way? One or either of those. Okay, so as I said, you're going to be presenting your finding in two ways, and I did a bib, and this is a sample of it right here. This is what Shauna Jorgensen did last year. She looked at the lack of minority women in STEM fields. That's where she was going. So she wrote a really brief introduction, just a couple of paragraphs based on what she studied, and then an annotated bibliography, which is the source and an article, a summary of each article. Okay, so we're going to be doing something like that. And then we're going to do some kind of presentation, not unlike an infographic like this, maybe, or a PowerPoint or Google slide, something like that. Then I'll ask you to write up a brief rationale of it, maybe 250 words explaining your choices in design and that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's it. I am really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with, and we will work on it together over the next couple of weeks. All right, take care.